This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. Joe was a traveling salesman. His territory covered most of the Omega sector. He used to drive around hawking what he called quality merchandise. Time store stuff. Graph jigs and time coders. He liked the ladies. And the ladies, they liked him back. One night he had finished his last call at my shop. I'd just placed a big order. Joe went out for a steak dinner to celebrate. He was eating alone, reading the paper. It was hard to miss the headline. Neuroblock killer stalks the east side. Some nutball was using a blocker on unsuspecting motorists. Neuroblockers. What a way to go. The thought sent shivers up Joe's spine. He paid his tab and started to leave. That's when he saw her. A vision in red, standing at the door, gazing out into the night. The kind of dame that could get you to do whatever she wanted. All she had to do was snap her fingers.
"Excuse me, mister,"
said the woman in red.
"Could you give me a lift?"
Joe couldn't believe his luck. "Sure," said Joe. "Which way you going?"
"Whichever way you are."
Joe didn't know whether to pinch himself or not. Because if this was a dream, he sure didn't want to wake up. Joe started the thrum motors. It was well past midnight and the traffic was light as he pulled out into the street and up the East Side Highway. It's really dangerous these days, but with that Neuroblock wacko out there, he laughed. She was a real looker. He turned to steal another peek at her, and that's when he came nose to nose with a Neuroblocker, right in his face. She was the East Side killer.
"All right, mister,"
she said.
"You can pull over here and don't try anything funny."
Funny was the last thing on his mind. Joe knew that if he didn't do something quick, he'd wind up just another notch on the old Neuroblocker. And he didn't want to go out that way. So he floored it, jammed the pedal right to the metal, so there was nowhere else for it to go. The car leapt forward, ran a red light, roared through an intersection. It was late at night, no other traffic, no witnesses.
"You'll get us both killed!"
She screamed. "Maybe I will, but if I gotta go, I'm not going alone. I'm taking you with me." The car picked up speed. Phone poles flashed by like slats on a picket fence. Streetlights flashed out an SOS.
"Stop the car!"
"And then what?" said Joe. "Let you use that blocker on me? What do you take me for, a sucker? Lady, you're running out of options, and we're running out of road." Manhattan's an island, and Joe's car was chewing up pavement like it was last call at an all-you-can-eat buffet. The lady in red was starting to get scared. Real scared.
"Stop the car! You're crazy! Let me out!"
She screamed. "Drop the blocker, and I'll think about it," said Joe. He fell to the floor. "Now listen up. I'm gonna slow down, and you're getting out." With that, he pushed a button. The gull-wing door at her side hissed open. The wind whipped her hair. The car bled off speed until it was going about 30. "Lady, we're out of time." "It's now or never," said Joe as she climbed into the doorway. "Jump!" And she leapt into the night. Joe heard a splash. Then he stomped the brakes. The car fishtailed in the rain and skidded out along the pier, chewing up railings, spitting out matchsticks. Then it came to a rest, just inches from the briny depths. Joe sat for a moment to collect himself. Then he drove back up the pier. A crowd of late-night rubberneckers had gathered round the base of a lamppost. Joe didn't look. Something told him she wasn't going to bother him anymore. This is a true story. It happened to a friend of mine. Funny thing is, the Neuroblocker never struck again. Joe, well, from that night on, he always traveled alone.